the GM Place in Vancouver. I mean, I tell you, I'm electrified, Steve. Did you get all that? I can get me a witness with the power of hoops. Let's find out what Steve's got in the way of his keys from Fred Meyer tonight.
Now, you know, this is the team that the Trailblazers have had trouble with in the past, and they cannot look past these Grizzlies. They can't think because they played poorly against the Kings, they will play poorly tonight. They've got to be ready to play. You know, they want to push the tempo of the ball game, move it up the floor, make it difficult for the defense of the Grizzlies to get set. And I think every time they play this team, they've got to do a good job of rebounding the ball.
So those are the keys. Keep them in mind. And Damon Stoudemire coming off a real nice game last night, hoping to get the Blazers off to a good start. Damon had 19 points to go along with 9 assists in 41 minutes. And Mike Dunleavy really felt like his team played well enough to win. It just happened to be a little bit too much of a man by the name of Moochie Norris, who came in off the bench and hit 4 out of 4 threes.
He's coming off the bench, really being a factor.
All right, J.R. Ryder working against Sam Mack. Mack, incidentally, playing with stitches in one of his feet, stepped on some glass and had to have it surgical removed. And that just happened recently. Off the miss, and up comes Bibby. First game they met was an exhibition. The Blazers won that game handily, and Bibby had a difficult time advancing the ball. See how he does tonight.
Well, the concern for Brian Hill yesterday was this team having patience at the offensive end, getting inside, high percentage shot. They start off with one. The Trailblazers had a great play in their opening set. Couldn't cash in on it, but if they can pass and cut like that, they should have layups the entire evening.
Stoudemire down to Arvydas Sabonis, and the big guy lays it in. Now, it should be mentioned, Steve, Arvydas had a very uncharacteristic first game. He had 7 points, but didn't find out till today that he's having problems with that toe again, and he really wasn't himself in Seattle.
Well, of course, the story in the NBA is playing through injuries and difficult moments, and Sabonis has been nicked up from time to time, and they're going to need him, so he's going to have to find ways, bad toe and all, to bring a little bit more than he brought against the Sonics to get the three-point play.
He had 7 points and 3 rebounds last night in 25 minutes. Blazers, of course, losing 91-88, and seriously a game that they had under control right down until the end. And you got to feel good about the fact that they can come away with that game very easily. Now,
Walt Williams tagged with that foul, trying to get around in front. You see the Trailblazer defense in a half court is up, challenging the ball into the passing lanes, and this is what was disruptive to the Grizzlies in the exhibition. So Portland knows that they have a ball handling concern, and they want to force some mistakes against Vancouver.
Vancouver 0-1. They lose at Sacramento last night. Look at Raheem off to 360. And Walt Williams has got his hands full with a number 6 scorer in the NBA last year. 22-plus points per game. Really one of the up-and-coming superstars of the NBA.
One of the ways you can perhaps neutralize him is to have Walt Williams put some heat on him at the offensive end, but Raheem knocked that one back. Another layup. Stoudemire cashes for Portland.
Boy, he threads his way through the landmines to get it in.
Bibby wide open.
Blazers by 1. Here they come. J.R. Ryder out ahead. That's Stoudemire over Bibby, and he overlaid with Bibby back and Mack to rebound. The Blazers can't come away with one, but lead by 1. I guess that Sacramento team was tough last night, shooting over 50%, and Weber just throttling this team as Raheem misses. Scramble inside, Park, blocked by Arvydas Sabonis, stripped by Massenberg, and he jams it home. Tony Massenberg is 6'9". He's really a power forward because Big Country Reeves came to camp way overweight and out of shape. He has been confined to the bench, even though he got more minutes than Massenberg in that game last night.
Another layup, count him, Eddie. That's 4 out of 5 attempts right at the rim for the Trailblazers. They've missed a couple, and that was Stoudemire cashing in for a second hoop.
And Bibby up against it pretty good with the Blazers trying to apply pressure to the young guy who bailed out of the University of Arizona after his sophomore year. 7-6 Blazers. Mack on the base. Massenberg. Arvydas came out to help, and once he did that, somebody had to fill inside, and they beat the Blazers to the hoop. And it's 8-7.
Remember, whenever you pressure, you're going to give up some cheap baskets, but the idea is to keep it up and eventually wear the opponent down. Another layup for the Trailblazers. Sabonis on the other side.
Well, Arvydas looking frisky with 5. His antagonist is Massenberg, and he's got 6, and the Blazers lead by 1. Bibby. Mack.
Well, that's the strength of Sam Mack. He is primarily a jump shooter. Sabonis with a quick rebound, and they push the other way.
That should be money in the bank when you get the free throw line jumper. And Damon's got a pair, and he'll go to the line on the foul. So the foul goes to Mack. And Damon will go to the line for the three-point play.
Early in the ball game, the Trailblazers have done what they want to do. Keep the pressure on the defense of the Grizzlies by pushing the ball almost in every opportunity. They have had good medium-range jump shots or layups. Three-point play for Stoudemire.
Damon last night 8 of 9 at the foul line. So the free throw shooting for Stoudemire has been almost perfect. On the track, they get the ball to Parks, the former Duke player, 6'11", tapped away Williams, and Sabonis out to Damon. Blazers on a 3-on-3 goal rush, back to Ryder. And they'll come away with it, Cherokee Parks. So far, Sabonis and Damon have all the points for Portland. Raheem, good double action on the baseline. Has to go to Massenberg, out of his range, and they'll clear it to the point, and that's Bibby.
Shot clock at 4.
And he hit the 3 off the high screen. They had the two-man game going. And that puts them back within 1. 12-11. Damon carries the ball over the equator. Crossover, bring it back. Mango. He comes right back and gets it 2, and the Blazer lead again 3. And Damon with 9 in the quarter against a former University of Arizona ball player. And they had a string of pretty good guards that came into Arizona. It's 14-11 off the foul. Timeout call. Blazer lead 3. University of Arizona ball player. And they had a string of pretty good guards that came into Arizona. It's 14-11 off the foul. Timeout call. Blazer lead 3. So far, AT&T tells you that the Trailblazers at 67%, Vancouver at 56%, Arvydas with 5 and Damon with 9, and that last foul was against Walt Williams, each team with 2 team fouls.
It must have been that late sunshine that came out here in BC and woke everybody up, but both teams sizzling at the start of this ball game. Portland's doing a good job of rebounding the ball, pushing it the other way, keeping the Grizzlies on their heels.
Walt Williams with 2 fouls goes out. Rashid is in the ball game right now. There he is in that little post-up position. Arvydas at 7-3, and he hammers it home, and he'll go to the foul line. He's just too big for them inside, and it's 16-11. And this foul will go to Sam Mack, and he's got 2.
Everyone talked about the fact that he didn't have many rebounds last night, but tonight he has been active on the boards. He's put himself in a position where he can get rebounds, finish plays, doesn't get the three-point play, but a terrific start for him. He's got 7 in the quarter.
Watch him carefully because the foot again bothering him. That's Cherokee Parks. Massenberg in the lane, fouled by Arvydas Sabonis. He's a jumping jack. Tony Massenberg, a 7-year guy, and he's been all over like a gray line tour. But you got to give him a lot of credit, Steve, because here's a guy that just keeps bobbing back with another team.
One thing Massenberg can do well is rebound the ball, particularly in traffic. He's a big, strong guy, and the Trailblazers were trying to get that call to go in the direction of Stacey Augmon. They don't want to see Sabonis get in foul trouble here early in the ball game.
Last year when Big Country was hurt toward the end of the season, Massenberg was the fellow that stepped in for them and did a nice job down the stretch. Now we're going to see Doug West coming in. West, who played formally with the Minnesota Timberwolves, is in, and he's a pretty good size 2 guard at 6'6", 9-year guy from Villanova.
Massenberg having a very good start. for the Grizzlies.
Bibby works on Stoudemire. Blazer lead 3, 16-13. Raheem out there with Massenberg, Doug West, Cherokee Parks, and Bibby. And Rasheed Wallace, that's a shot he should be able to make because he shoots that thing in practice all the time and many times. Works on that shot a lot. 18-13, Blazers by 5. Raheem inside to Tony, and they'll give it over to young Bibby, who was the second player chosen in the draft this last year. High banker off the glass by Tony Massenberg.
Massenberg carrying the scoring load right now, 10 1/4. Big quarter for him. Nice exchange between Bibby and Massenberg.
Nice little spin move by Damon, but the shot won't go for him. Out ahead, knocked away by Ryder. Massenberg again. Massenberg had a career-high 34 points in the last game of last season. But I'm telling you, this guy's been all over the place, and yet he looks like he may have found himself a home here.
Well, if he can stay right in that area, he can be effective, and that's what they've done for him so far. They haven't taken him out and asked him to do any more than rebound the ball, put it back up. Sabonis wants it inside. 5 on the shot clock.
He should get it 7-3 against 6'9", and it's like money in the bank when he gets it down deep. Massenberg cannot stop him. Arvidas with 9. 20-17, Trailblazers. West on the entry. Massenberg again. He feels it, and he's got it. And he's saying to Jack Neese, one of the officials, he's bumping me.
Well,
Massenberg with 14, Steve.
Well, he's the story right now. They haven't even looked at Raheem, but once or twice. Now, if you're Sabonis and this guy's torching you a little bit, what you do is camp back down and put some pressure on him. Ryder with this first 2.
JR and Ryder and the Blazers lead by 3. Massenberg is 6 for 6 from the floor. 6 for 6.
Looking to Raheem.
The switch on the base. Ryder picking in on Raheem, and a foul call against JR. Cross screen on the base, and now Sabonis and JR talking over their defensive assignments.
We're inside the lane, but it's close, you're right.
All right, so the Blazers now with their 4th team foul. The Grizzlies have 3, and we have 4:14 to play in the first quarter. Snapper's with me tonight. A lot of nice sport coat here, too. Bibby. Parks.
This is what they didn't do last night. They didn't have enough patience. They didn't work hard enough to get the inside hoop, and that's what you're getting from the front line of the Grizzlies tonight. Parks gets his first 2.
Well, they shot 35% at Sacramento last night. And Ryder on the miss. Stacey Augmon couldn't get the rebound. Augmon, Sabonis, and Ryder. Stoudemire and Rasheed Wallace for Portland. Boy, they feel it. They're shooting it. And West on the miss, and the outlet, Stoudemire. Augmon on the right wing. Crosses over, leaves for the trailer, and Ryder comes up short, but fouled on the play. Both teams have 4 fouls.
14th foul, but this is a shooter for Ryder. First time at the line for him. But Stoudemire lost control of the ball, and I think that might have thrown Ryder off because he wasn't ready to catch and finish.
JR will go to the line. Ryder, who shot the ball pretty well. He made the second to the last basket attempt last night that didn't go, which would have been probably the one that would have won it, but it was a good shot. You don't fault him there. And here's Brian Big Country. They call him Big Continent these days because he's so large. Came in way over the top, and Massenberg will take his hot shooting arm to the bench.
Well, a lot of people here at GM Place are going to say, hey, Coach Hill, you know the guy hasn't missed a shot, eh? You know.
Hey. Is that coat real cashmere, by the way? No? You're not laying some phony thing on me, are you?
It's Canadian.
You look pretty good to me. Not hot, is it? 24-21. Blazer lead 3. Wall Street Jimmy about to come in for Portland. Parks, crossover travel. Teddy Barnhart made the call. Mark Davis and Jack Neese, the other 2 officials, and Cherokee Parks, who had a lot of that body art done in the offseason, will get the turnover. And that'll be the second turnover by the Vancouver Grizzlies.
Remember in the preseason contest, the Grizzlies turned it over, and made it an easy first quarter for the Trailblazers. A foul against Reeves. That means Sabonis will go to the line.
Penalty situation in that game. The Grizzlies turned it over 26
to Brian Hill, the coach of the Vancouver Grizzlies before the game. I've known him for a long time. Very upset at their performance last night because they were manhandled by Sacramento. Now, part of the game plan was, of course, to bring Brian Big Country Reeves off the bench, and that's what he did. But Tony Maschenberg, who was the hot guy tonight, he told me that's going to be my go-to guy tonight. And then the young rookie, Henry Bibby, is going to handle that ball, and he's going to have a one-on-one situation with Damon Stoudemire. So far, Brian Hill has been right.
And Arvydas Sabonis misses both free throws. 24-21. Sabonis normally a good free throw shooter. Up against Big Country, 7 feet, about 310. Last year played at 275 and now fouled as he tried to make a move on the baseline. And that puts both teams over the foul limit. Both teams.
Sabonis picks up his second one, not happy about it. You got a combination of missing a pair of free throws at one end of the floor and then coming out, Big Country shoots that jumper. Sabonis left his feet, put a hand on him. Easy call for the official to make. Big Country short with his free.
Not a bad free throw shooter, Steve. 71% career. Here's Kelvin Cato. Kelvin will replace Arvydas Sabonis.
Sabonis not happy about coming out of the ball game, but he got himself off to a very good start at both ends of the floor for the Trailblazers. And what do they have to do when he comes back in is make sure he doesn't get that third foul. We'll see if the Trailblazers with Cato start putting some wall-to-ball pressure on Reeves, 1 of 2.
Arvydas, 9 points, 3 rebounds, and 1 block shot. Stoudemire, Stacey Augmon. Stacey with a nice little scoop to the hoop and that figure 8, that half a figure 8. And he gets a pair, and it's 26-22.
Full court pressure with a little bit of confusion, but Raheem and the Grizzlies trying to force it inside. He gets 2.
How about the way he changed up on that shot? He was really something. Stoudemire, offensive foul. Damon on the offensive foul off the contact, and it's 26-24. Blazers with 2:12 to play in the quarter. Stoudemire gets the foul. Big Country along with Carl Herrera, who just came on.
Herrera comes in as Stoudemire gets a dip and doesn't think that he should have gotten that call against him. Parks is out of the ball game. Herrera in.
First turnover for the Blazers coming at the 2:10 mark. It's now 2 minutes on the clock in the first quarter. Herrera, that's West. And Augmon high to get the rebound. He really got up there that time and clears to Damon.
Augmon had a little bit of trouble finding Stoudemire, who was stuck behind a couple of big players. Now they set to
I tell you, that shot to me is just beautiful to watch. You say it a million times, but you can't emphasize enough. Impossible for them to stop it because of where he launches the shot. Way up on top, fully extended. Almost took the ball away from Mike Bibby. Bibby, Herrera.
And that's what you don't want to see happen when you're pressing. Guys able to put the ball on the floor, get all the way to the rim. Herrera missed. Doug West on the other side to finish up.
28-26. Closing in on 1 minute remaining here in the quarter. Blazers home after this one and get ready for Indiana on opening night. That's Wednesday night. Damon, they try and trap him. Herrera's got him, and they go back to Rashid. Looks good. Back iron. Knocked away, and Kelvin Cato's got it. Wall Street, Jimmy with a 3. Jim Jackson. He's got the Blazers over 30 now, 31-26.
High energy quarter, much higher than Brian Hill would like to see it for his Grizzlies, but the Trailblazers got a number that they can live with, and anytime you can get 30 in a period, you know that you're pushing the ball up the floor, you're getting some high percentage shots.
Whistle to play dead for a moment. Brian Grant will be coming in. Rasheed Wallace will go out. And a foul being called here against Kelvin Cato. He's got one over the limit. Brian Grant back in the lineup for the Trailblazers. Nice game last night. No, they didn't say, what was it? Just illegal defense.
Illegal defense.
Illegal defense. 31-26 our score with 20 seconds remaining here in the first quarter. Stoudemire trying to shade Bibby a little bit. No work for one. Trying to initiate, tried the crossover, lost it off the hand, back to Portland. Good defense, Arizona against Arizona. And Stacey Augmon will inbound to Damon with Kelvin Cato up high. Set the screen, Stoudemire with a great move to split the defense, and then the shot wouldn't go for him. What a wonderful move to split the D. And at the end of one, Blazers by 5, 31-26. Beautiful Vancouver, British Columbia. And tonight, Blazer Vision hits the road. We bring it to you live as the Blazers and the Grizzlies going at it after one, and Portland with a 31-26 lead. Magnificent setting here. Late afternoon sun and the crowd settling in for their home opener. This is a team that last year won 19 games and 14 of those were here. And as you can see, some red-hot shooting by both teams in the first quarter. And the Blazers with only one turnover, but outscoring the Grizzlies from the bench, which you kind of expect with the depth of this team, 9-3. Here's Raheem. Boy, he's a terrific talent. 4 points is what he's had so far on 2 for 4.
Well, the story of the first quarter was Tony Massenberg with 14 points to really energize them, get them going in a high percentage area. And Brian Reeves comes back with one over the top.
Reeves last night off the bench, 14 points, 9 rebounds in that hammering at Sacramento. Weber and the youngster Jason Williams and Vlade Divac, all new additions to Sacramento. Big nights in that game. And the ball knocked away and out of bounds. Blazers with Augmon, Ray Anthony, Jimmy Jackson, Kelvin Cato, and Brian Grant. Anthony gets the pick and roll. They'll run simple stuff right now, probably. Lots of pick and rolls in and out. Stacey Augmon and a loose ball foul. It'll be called against Brian Grant. Brian Grant gets the loose ball foul. Team foul 1, personal foul 1 for Brian.
Trailblazers pressuring the ball, trying to make the Grizzlies make some mistakes, and maybe they learned something from the last game by trying to get the forward to break the pressure, not let the guards handle the ball.
Jawan Wheaton started the second quarter here. And the jump hook that time by Carl Herrera, and a loose ball foul called on Big Country. Big Country. He lives in Gans, Oklahoma, and this year they're not sending him home without one of Brian Hill's people going with him. Keep an eye on him all summer long. There's no hoops being played down in that part of the country in the summer. All he did was lay a line in the water all summer and have himself a few groceries. No more, they say. Too much invested, $64 million. And that's Kelvin Cato with the banker over Big Country.
Nice patience, and the Trailblazers haven't really had to have a lot of that so far in the ball game because they've been able to get 1-2 quick passes and get inside, but a nice play for Kelvin Cato.
Big Country, Carl Herrera. Herrera, who spent a lot of time at San Antonio and down in the Texas area, Houston at the university, drafted originally by Miami, number 2 pick. Only averaged about 3 points a game in 58 games last year with the Spurs. 33-30, Blazers by 3. Jackson, jab step right, goal left, drives the boulevard and fouled on the way down. And we are going to have a timeout. So a foul on the play, and 9:59 to play here in the first half.
One of the strengths of Jim Jackson is the ability to drive the ball, and with this strength trying to overpower Doug West.
It's 33-30. Timeout in Vancouver. Grizzlies. The Grizzlies a year ago were the second worst team in points allowed in the NBA, over 103 a game. They want to improve defensively, and they've made changes. Brian Hill has worked diligently. I mean, this guy puts in like 3-hour practices, 3-hour meetings, and they just don't give up. They try and build, but it's going to be a slow process here. Jim Jackson, 7-year guy. Been a good free throw shooter throughout his career, 81%. Got that little rubber band on his wrist that reminds him about how fragile life is. 35-30 score. Blazer lead 5. Boy, Brian Grant trips in the back court, and they've got a one-man advantage. Doug West all the way back door, blocked by Cato. Give it to Raheem. They isolate he against Augman and clear out and let him work. They travel with the ball. They had the isolation going. They cleared it out. Everybody went to the other side.
Raheem is saying, how can I travel if I was dribbling with the ball? And probably should have been a palming violation. He went underneath, and, you know, most of the time they'll let you get away with it if you stay on the side of the ball. But a violation, and Portland trying to take advantage of it with Grant inside looking for a hoop.
That is a nice move by Brian Grant as he went up and under that time with Carl Herrera. Beautiful move by Grant, who had the good game in Seattle last night.
Against this group, the Trailblazers really want to try to bust the game open. They started the quarter with a 5-point advantage. It's now up to 7, but Massenberg back out on the floor, still yet to miss a shot. Scores again.
7 for 7. Tony Massenberg off to a career start. 37-32. Blazers lead 5. Backdoor cut, Jimmy Jackson. He got the up screen, and he backdoor cut his man, and he got to the basket in a beautiful dish, and he's got 7. 39-32. Jackson. And the Blazers with a lead. DeJuan Wheat filling in till Lee Mayberry comes back, who will be the backup point guard. And the ball right through the wickets of Carl Herrera, and the Blazers win it. And on the drive to the basket, fouled on the play, Greg Anthony. And fouled by DeJuan Wheat, who was drafted by the Lakers, free agent signee this year.
Well, Eddie, you like that one so much, we'll get one more look at it, but that's the way you want to play basketball. The most dangerous area is going to the basket. Cato recognized the cut, delivered it right on the money.
Very well executed by the Trailblazers. When the coaches break down tape, they look at that, boy, they grade that one real high. Anthony. Greg Anthony, who has had great years shooting the ball from the line. Rasheed back in, Kelvin Cato out. Anthony, an 86%er last year at the foul line with the, let's check that now, not quite that good, 74% career.
Well, one of the things that, Mike Dunleavy's trying to do is keep the energy up. So you see a lot of bodies flying in and out, but when you're pressuring, that's what you want. You want people to be up, be aggressive, while it's back in the game, particularly at the point of attack.
You play a lot of games in succession, or a lot of games in just a few more nights. You love that depth. Keep the bodies fresh. Use those young legs. Wheat knocked away by Anthony, and then tackled by Wheat. And there'll be a loose ball foul here against DeJuan Wheat. Boy, Greg Anthony stripped him beautifully. Wheat with the foul. That's the 4th team foul against the Grizzlies.
Wheat was trying to dance with the ball, put it right out there, and Anthony was able to pick it, head the other way. But in trying to save it, Wheat got a piece of Greg Anthony.
They have 6 turnovers now. The Blazers won. And they come away with it. West out here to Wheat.
Grant never really got a chance to get set as he was trying to find a post position. Ball delivered before he was ready to catch it. Steal Anthony.
Anthony, one of the original Vancouver Grizzlies, steals the ball away, looks inside, leaves for Stacey Augman. Blazers trying to attack the hoop. Back to Anthony. Hard off the rim. Augman with a rebound, stripped by Raheem. 41-32. Blazers trying to distance themselves now. On the back door, there's West. Blocked shot by Brian Grant out of bounds. And it'll come back to Vancouver with 14 on the shot clock.
Doug West coming inside and just showed the ball to Grant, who was waiting, taps it back, and they'll have 14 on the shot clock. Bibby in the ball game. Wheat out, 3rd steal in a row for Anthony.
He's an excellent defender. There's another nice pickup by the Blazers. Greg Anthony spelling Damon Stoudemire as Rashid lost the ball, and Bibby trying to clear it, knocked away by Anthony, picked up by West, inside Raheem, and fouled by Brian Grant. 41-32, Trailblazers with 7 to play in the half.
What the Trailblazers want Wallace to do when he catches the ball down deep is be aggressive and looking for his own shot. He came back out once they dropped the ball inside, and that's what started the transition for the Vancouver Grizzlies. So when he's got the ball that deep, he's got to think score.
This is the first. Raheem, who averaged 26 points and 9 rebounds against the Blazers last year. Always dangerous. Sam Mack comes back. And Doug West will report to the sidelines for the Vancouver Grizzlies, and Raheem makes the second. How good can he be?
Well, you know, there's nothing but greatness written all over him. He's quiet right now, but he's the kind of player that goes for double figures in a quarter, so you got to try to keep him under control. Jackson lost control of the ball, but they get a kick ball.
And Schatz is out there roaming the house. What do you have, Ann?
Hey, thanks so much. With me, none other than Lou Gossett Jr. Here's a guy that's gone, 49 years in the movie and television business, some 70 films. And you are a basketball fan, aren't you, fella?
Oh, yeah, I'm a jock from way back during the times of Seth Sanders and Happy Harrison, my old college roommates.
Now, you're way too modest. Now, what people don't know is that at NYU with those guys, you were drafted by the New York Knicks.
Yeah.
You had to choose acting over hoops? Come on.
Well, I was acting since high school, and I wasn't hungry. I went up, I would have made the team. Went to the rookie camp, and they were scratching and biting. If they didn't make the team, they had to drive a cab. I was on Broadway, so my hunger just dissipated. So I showed up at the rookie camp with money.
And here's a guy, too, that says no to basketball, but loves baseball, hung out with Sandy Koufax, and is a minority owner, no pun intended, with the Arizona Diamondbacks,
That's not visual, that's financial.
But, I mean, you were a sports guy, aren't you?
All my life. All my life, yeah.
Do the two coincide at all? Give me at least a little bit of, how sports has helped your acting, or even vice versa, just being a jock right now as a fan.
Yeah, the most important on both of these levels, all professional levels, is discipline. Discipline. Professionalism and discipline. And sometimes, we talk with Sats and Cal Ramsey and those guys. We talk about the kids here are great athletes, but they don't love the game like Magic did, like Michael did, like Sandy Koufax did.
So we got to get that back, don't we?
Got to get that love and devotion for the game. They deserve the money, but that love for the game. Kobe Bryant has a love for the game.
And we love you talking with us. Thanks so very much. Very much appreciate it. The one and only Lou Gossett Jr. Fellas, right back at you.
797-9600 Blazer season tickets still available. Come on down to Paul's Place and enjoy some good hoops. The power of hoops. Can I get a witness? Walkman on Raheem.
Lost control of it on the way up. Portland has not made a lot of turnovers in the first half.
41-33. Traveling violation, or was there a foul? Portland is not making a lot of turnovers, Steve.
Well, according to one official, it was going to be a violation traveling as Bibby went out of bounds, but Jack Neese called it a block, and second foul against Damon Stoudemire.
41-33, the Trailblazers with the lead. Pete Chilcott in the game, defended by Rashid. That's North Carolina against North Carolina. A couple of North Carolina guys, and Massenberg tried to put it down and take it back door, and he couldn't get there.
Now, if you're going to get mistakes from Massenberg, they're going to happen when he tries to do something with the basketball. If he can catch it and go up with it, if he can catch it and make one big step, he's okay. If he starts to dance with it, he's probably going to turn it over. Grant right at the rim.
And he is doubled for a moment. Lost it, gets it back. Good strong move inside. Riders there, can't get it. And they have it. And it's Sam Mack running slowly on that foot with the stitches in it. Bibby, good exposure by Rashid. Force it back along the base of the jump shot by Tony Massenberg.
And Massenberg not missing anything. He's got 4 in the quarter, 18 in the ball game. But again, it's just catch it, shoot it, do something with it. When he has to think about it, he's probably going to make a mistake. But a terrific start for him, keeping the Grizzlies in the game.
Brian Grant inside on Chilcott. Oh, and he shoehorns this one up and in. Terrific effort by Grant in a crowd that time, and Brian Grant with 4 points so far tonight. 43-35, Trailblazers. Mike Bibby chased by Damon Stoudemire. Rasheed, Ryder, Brian Grant, and Augman on the floor for the Blazers. Massenberg still hasn't missed. He's 9 for 9. This is unreal.
He's in the zone, and when you're in the zone, everything is going for you. He feels it, and of course, as long as he's hot, Brian Hill should be going to him. There's a carry.
Carry over that. Damon really has been doing that a lot. That's the first time they've called it. And we're going to see Arvydas Sabonis in a moment. Blazers with their 5th turnover of the night. Massenberg, in case you're wondering, played at the University of Maryland. Came out of there in 1990. Put in some time with the Clippers.
What the Grizzlies are doing better, and Bibby in particular, is moving the ball before the double team gets to him. Trailblazers can't corral that when they get a new 24, looking for Massenberg inside.
He's hot, they go to him. He's doubled up, takes it, misses his first, tip in by Pete Chilcott. Oh, Chilcott with the offensive stick back. And it's 43-39. Blazer lead cut to 4.
And one of the things that happens when you're scrambling and double teaming, sometimes you lose your man on your assignment, you don't get the block, you're going to give up some of those easy putbacks. Raheem.
And an in and out around the foul by Stacey Augman. With 3:50 to play here in the first half, Vancouver trying to tighten it up.
Well, the Grizzlies turned it around after getting the ball and pushing it quick the other way. The Trailblazers defense never got a chance to get set. Augman picking up the foul. That is his 2nd personal.
Going to the foul line now will be the Spurs. Listen to this. Sharif Abdur-Rahim. 5 points so far tonight. When they put down the word prototype in front of a small forward, I think this guy fits the description beautifully.
You know, he's long, he's very athletic, he's very mobile, very difficult to defend, and a lot of teams would love to have a small forward with that kind of versatility.
Arvydas with his 4th rebound. And we'll have a timeout. Well, the Blazers call for time with 3:43 to play here in the first half. The lead is 3, 43-40. Very important faces. Paul Allen. Bob Whitsitt, president and general manager. I mentioned last night, Paul at the game. No bigger basketball fan in America than Paul Allen. The Trailblazers trying to come home with a 1-1 record, Steve. And when you stop and think about where the Blazers have to go with this team, 1-1 for a start, not bad. Incidentally, the gentleman talking to Paul Allen, the owner, one of the owners of the Vancouver Grizzlies, is that John McCall? Might be. 43-40 is the score of our game. But on the other side, Steve, and we talked about this last year, the Vancouver team giving up a lot of points, and again tonight the Blazers shooting the ball well. This is a Vancouver team that's got to improve their defense.
But they're in this ball game. I mean, I think for Brian Hill, he's getting the message across to his team about what he wants to do, and it's been a very competitive first half, particularly here in the 2nd quarter. They've been able to keep their energy up as we get a look at former Trailblazer Lionel Hollins, assistant coach for the Grizzlies.
Blazers bench doing the job again tonight. We saw that a moment ago. And on the attempted save by Rasheed, I believe it came off the body of Sam Mack. A good effort by Rasheed Wallace. So the Blazers will get it back with 8 seconds on the shot clock.
The Grizzlies have done a pretty good job of reacting and slowing down the Trailblazers' surge. They got 31 points in the first quarter. They have now 43, so that means they've only scored 12 points, and what they're looking to do over the last 3:33 is get some buckets. Confusion down at that end of the floor. Now we get a new 24.
Much of what you need to know is right there in that Blazer box. And there it is. They roll it up there with 24 seconds. The Blazers get it back with 24 seconds, and on the inbound attempt, Rasheed can't get there. Chilcott's got it. Here's Raheem trying to take it against Stoudemire, and he takes it right to the rack, and it's a one-point ball game.
But that's part of the mobility I told you about. Now, he came right in on a smaller player. Stoudemire never missed a step, made a nice change of pace, and got the hoop. Foul at this end of the floor against Sam Mack.
7-0 run by Vancouver, and they're back to within one.
But this is a big push, and you watch this guy get down, cover the ball, a little stop and go, bang, right at the basket. And he's been patient tonight. I mean, with Massenberg getting off to a good start, he has waited, picked his spots. But, you know, you can always expect, and it always seems that way against Portland, Raheem gets numbers.
Trailblazers having a little bit of a problem with the foul line, 8 of 12. Ryan Hill used to be the coach at Orlando. Setting up a play that he wants to run when his team gets the ball, and J.R. Ryder misses two. Ryder with 4 points in the first half so far.
Now where the Trailblazers want to return is at this defensive end where they continue to keep the pressure up. Nice steal, Wallace.
Great rotation defensively to cover up for the loose man, Massenberg. Ryder on the jumper, knocked away and out of bounds, back to Portland, so the Blazers will get it. New clock, 2:50 to play in the half.
Now that's a shot that every coach can live with for J.R. Ryder. That's a good medium-range, 15-foot jump shot. He's going to make that more times than he's going to miss it. Early opportunity, he's got to look for more of those.
I was really impressed with that defensive rotation on that last Blazer steal. And Rasheed with an in and outer. The hoop just doesn't want it. The foul called on the play against Tony Massenberg.
And he was hoping and praying on that one because he really didn't have control the way he wanted. As they got fouled on the way up, he was hoping he'd get it right on the glass and maybe get the call. Now a pair of free throws.
Steve, the Blazers looking to break loose here. They've only scored 2 points in the last 5 minutes. Rasheed with some string music. Beautifully done.
What they want to continue to do, even when they have these mini droughts, is to continue to get the ball in the high percentage area, keep the pressure on the Grizzly defense. They've been able to do it. You're not going to make all your shots, and Portland had a terrific start. They've got to cool off as well as the Grizzlies.
3-point lead with 2:36 to play in the half. Bibby and Stoudemire, Sabonis and Massenberg. Sabonis steps out, he's got Bibby pinned down. He has to get rid of the ball. Mack, Raheem, travel. That little jab step. Boy, they call that one quickly. Sometimes, I don't know. I think these fellas make some pretty good moves sometimes.
No, he put his right foot down before he put the ball. So he went left and right. The ball never came down. It was an easy call for the official to make.
Damon Stoudemire comes up and then goes down into the hole to Sabonis. And Bibby with a steal. Coming over to help. 3-on-1, Raheem. And again, a 1-point lead. 45-44.
Again, when you have a young team like the Grizzlies and the Trailblazers, one of the ways to keep your mistakes down and one of the ways to really give them some confidence is to push it whenever you can. Grizzlies running the ball a little bit more here in the quarter than the Trailblazers.
Chilcott with a save, throws it to Sabonis. He's fouled from behind and no call. Out ahead, Stoudemire to Walt Williams. Scoop to the rack and foul on the play. Now they call an offensive foul. Foul on Walt.
Good aggressive push. Max sets. He's there. And Walt Williams decides he's going for it anyway. That's a third foul against Walt Williams. So the Wizard has not been given too much light in the first half of play by the official.
You know what I like, Steve? I like the way the Blazers are trying to attack the basket. Ogman back. Williams goes out. Williams with 3 fouls, and Stacey Ogman coming back into the game. 2 points.
Kickball.
You get 24 seconds on the clock on a kickball. 1:31 to play in the half, and a 45-44 Portland lead. Dunleavy trying to get his guys through this half, take them to the locker room, talk it over. Bibby hammered on the way to the basket.
Well, there have been some contact plays that haven't been called. The strip to the ball, Stacey Ogman, so it comes back the other way. Raheem.
And Chilcutt fighting for that ball and knocked away out of bounds. It'll come back to Portland.
And you're seeing a very aggressive and active Pete Chilcutt. He's dancing around on both ends of the floor trying to keep the ball alive. Almost got that one. Portland with a basketball. 1:03 to go here in the second quarter.
Blazers, after turning it over only once in the first quarter, turned it over 9 times here in the second. Arvidas, offensive foul. Blazers are not doing their usual job on the boards either, so you got to give Vancouver a lot of credit for that.
You give them some credit, and also one of the reasons the Trailblazers are not quite as effective as they were, a little bit of impatience and uncertainty as to where people are supposed to be out on the floor.
Raheem against Stacey Ogman. What's the fake? Stacey stays with him. Raheem there. Sabonis with a rebound. Good defense by the Blazers. Stoudemire with a pull-up. Quick shooting, and they get the rebound. And here they come. They've out-rebounded the Blazers 22-11. Final 20 seconds and a 20-second timeout call by Brian Hill to set up a final play of the first half. (45-44) Trailblazers. A lead of 1.
When you're a running, pressing team, you're going to give up some hoops. The idea is to continue to keep that pressure up for the duration of the ball game. Don't get discouraged by a run by the opponent. They're going to make some mistakes. Almost one there. Matt D.
Sam back with 9.9 seconds and the lead to the Grizzlies by a pair. 47-45. Who gets the call here? Great pass by Stoudemire to the big guy. He spotted the double team, knew there was somebody open. Terrific look, found him under the hoop, and the Blazers go to the half tied up at 47 all. Terrific look by Damon to end the half, and we're even at 47-47.
Here, Portland, of course, will try to get more people involved in the second half, see if they can slow down Massenberg, who's on his way to a huge ball game, and keep Sharif out of it.
We get set to go to the third quarter. Blazers, on the strength of a 12-4 run at the start of the second quarter by Vancouver, they get back in the game after the Blazers led by 9. Mike Dunleavy trying to remind his guys of many things, one of which is rebounding. Blazers are rebounded 10-4 in the second, and they managed to turn the ball over more times in Vancouver, something they didn't do in the first when they only had 1 turnover. So with half a basketball ahead and a lot of promise and hope, the Trailblazers come on out here all tied up at 47-47. They'll bring back Ryan Grant, Arvidas Sabonis, Damon Stoudemire, and J.R. Ryder at the guards. Walt Williams will round out the starting 5. And, of course, they've got a lot of timber on that bench that they can bring in and throw at these Vancouver Grizzlies, who are playing in their home opener. Mike Bibby, the youngster out of Arizona, and Cherokee Parks, who's bumped around pretty good so far in a very short time in the NBA. Abdur Rahim, Sam Mack, there's Raheem. And Tony Massenberg, who was 9 for 10 in that first half.
This is a group that they got 31 points against, and so they should try to come out with the same kind of aggressive offensive energy. And again, remember, you're going to give up some hoops, but the point is that you're trying to keep pressure on the opponent, get them out of the game that they want to play, force them into some mistakes, and cash in at the opposite end of the floor.
Just underway, Bibby against Stoudemire. Part of that long line of terrific guards that have come out of Arizona. On the give and go, gets it back. Massenberg tries to get on the board again, and a quick foul called against Arvydas Sabonis.
They had to get it up against the clock, and Bibby started with an off-balance jumper, and nobody realized that that ball was going in the air. Sabonis thought he got pushed. Massenberg comes back inside, trip him up, and they give the third personal and the first of the second half to Arvydas Sabonis.
Massenberg makes the first. Massenberg having some night. This guy's got 21 points in the game so far. Tony Massenberg, career high 34. Mike Dunleavy, I'm not sure, is all that concerned yet, and he makes his second.
But what he is concerned about is that foul problem that Sabonis has. He's already asked him to switch up, so we'll see what the defensive alignment looks like the next time the Trailblazers go at the defensive end of the floor.
Bibby has Stoudemire. That's a good matchup. Sabonis flashing inside, puts it up, fouled on the play. Well, they run that little cross screen on the base, and Sabonis is just completely free as he comes over to the ball side and fouled on the play. Massenberg has 3.
Sabonis is struggling from the line tonight. You know he'd like to get a rhythm because he prides himself as a big man on being able to knock down those free throws. Gets the first.
12 points for Arvydas in the game. Add another. And it is a 49-49 ball game. Parks gives the ball over to Bibby and then knocks Damon Stoudemire.
And what the Trailblazers have done is forced a lot of time off of the clock, and a little flick there. Now it's 7 on the clock for the Grizzlies to get it up and down. So all that early defensive energy has to pay off. So you can't go to sleep right now. Make them shoot the ball over the top of the defense. Bibby looking for 3.
Oh, he had some deep range on that one. And Brian Grant with the rebound. That's Brian's first rebound of the night. He had a big board night last night over in Seattle.
When the ball goes into Sabonis, that's when you want to see the cutters in the ball movement. Walt Williams trying to hand it inside. He's going to get his 4th foul. Walt Williams has not been able to play tonight. Drove it, charged, and he's talking.
That's the second charge he's had on his way to the basket. Park stood in there and took it. Now we're going to get Stacey Augmon in the game. So Walt Williams will come out of there quickly, and we're tied at 49.
Sometimes, even when you're thinking, get the ball all the way to the rim, you've got to recognize when you've got to pull up, knock down that little 7 or 8 foot jump shot to make the defense come out.
Sabonis steps up on Bibby, forces him back a little bit. Raheem back to Bibby's wide open. Oh, it honeycombs the rim and pops out. Grant with another rebound.
When you're running and you don't get the ball, you can't be discouraged. You got to keep running. Mike Bibby steps in charge and in front of Sabonis and takes a hit, hoping he was going to get the foul, but he never got his body in front of him, which is a wise thing. If you're that small, show a piece. Be like a running back and only take a side glancing blow.
Man, I'm telling you, that's a man that can stand in there and take that charge. (50-49) as Arvydas Sabonis makes the free throw. Bibby gets a hit knocked out of place. Stand in there and take too many of those shots. And Sabonis is 4 for 4 from the line here in the second half. Detroit won again tonight, huh, Steve? Beat Washington 106-103.
You know, Detroit last year was a team that couldn't win a close game. This year, they're off to a great start. That's going to be a shot in the arm for Gentry, the new head coach, and that team in terms of believing in themselves. Sabonis, rebound.
Comes up short, tries it again. The big guy powering inside on the trampoline. Man, he stayed with it beautifully. He got hacked a couple of times, no calls. He's got about 6 rebounds in the game. Indiana, the Blazers' opening night opponent, wins tonight in Cleveland, and the Lakers, before over 30,000, beat San Antonio 80-75. Right now, we've got a 53-51 Blazers lead, and the officials are going to bring Raheem over here to the side and give him the ball.
17 on the shot clock. What has plagued the Grizzlies here at the top of the quarter has been they've been forced out high against the shot clock in a lot of situations trying to get set up. And now they hope that Mike Bibby can make a play, bail them out. Under 10.
Bibby. Cherokee Parks. Tough shot. Massenberg right there, and he misses it point blank. And Sabonis with another rebound and a wraparound outlet. Stoudemire to Grant to the rack and a jam. And the Blazers now lead 55-51. Charlotte beats Miami to get their first win. Miami struggling. They lose that one 94-91 in Charlotte.
Well, Miami's the first team of this 99 season to get a dose of 3 straight ball games.
Pat Riley not a happy guy tonight, I'm sure. Raheem and Sabonis with the rebound as he knocked him down, and the Blazers doing a better job on the boards. Stoudemire going to Ryder on the left base, and he pulls up with a J.
A little bit of hesitation, and Mike Dunleavy, just that.
And the Blazers have opened up a 6-point lead at 57-51 with 8:18 to play in the third. Alva eligible for the award. And those selected
the Trailblazers have picked up their offensive energy by keeping the pressure on the defense of the Vancouver Grizzlies. Grant got one inside, 2 hands over the top. Ryder followed it up with a nice little medium-range jump shot. And they've got to encourage each other to continue to run, to keep the pressure on. Field goal percentage right where it was at the start of the ball game at 60. Only thing is the Grizzlies have fallen off, only 1 of 7.
6-point lead, 57-51, 8:10 to play in the third. Bibby against Damon. Bring Abdur Rahim to the ball side. Augman almost had a steal. Raheem. Augman knocks it away from behind. Stacey really playing good defense on Raheem tonight. I mean, exceptional. Stoudemire tries to split, leaves for Sabonis, the big guy, becoming much more aggressive. Saves in the corner, and then steps over the end line. Right in the corner, and Tim Gergridge up there to cheer him on, just to tell him, hey, you're doing a good job. Good hustle, Arvydas. Sabonis with 17 points in the game so far. Lead still 6. Ryan Grant trying to cheat over to see if they can trap on Bibby. He's got Carl Herrera, who just came in the game. Raheem, Massenberg with the side screen. Raheem peel it into the right side to Mack, down to Herrera against Grant.
And they've been fighting the shot clock the entire time. They're going to get a bump inside. Grant.
That's number 3 on Brian Grant. And the second team foul on the Trailblazers here with 7:25 to play in this third quarter.
So Herrera, King Carl, was in the act of shooting, so he'll get a pair of free throws.
Boy, he threw up a Hoyt Wilhelm job there. For those of you who don't know, one of the great knuckleballers in baseball history. Wilhelm, one for 7 in the field goal shooting department for the Grizzlies in this quarter, and they miss a pair. And Arvydas has gotten to the board pretty nicely here in the third quarter. Reverse it, try to find an open man.
They're looking for Grant down on the post, and then they want to get the defense to react to it. 8 on the shot clock, but it's going around the perimeter. That's when the Grizzlies have a chance to rebound the ball. That's also when they have a chance to push it the other way.
Raheem fouled by Stacey Augman. 57-51. I don't think many people are aware of the fact that Raheem left college after his freshman year. He would be a senior in college if he were there right now at Cal.
What he does extremely well to get the defender off balance is a little hesitation. He'll get right beside you, hold, and then come back into you, and caught Augman off balance, got caught with a hand check. Raheem coming to the basket.
Blocked by Sabonis. Beautiful block. Massenberg with the reload. Try it again. Can't squeeze it the right way. And Herrera's got the rebound. Brian Grant. Herrera with the fadeaway. No!
They've had 3 good saves, and then they give up another offensive try, and eventually that's what will kill you. They stay on the glass 4 possessions, 3 blocks in the possession, so the interior defense of the Trailblazers was up to make it. We're in hockey country. You know what that happens. You got a goal to do. You know, and then you say, hey, at the end of it. Raheem off balance and watch Sabonis catch it from the rear. And it's Sam Mack trying to go up, get it in. Raheem again, and Ogman swipes that one away. Ogman out in front, didn't catch the ball.
Off the live action. Raheem actually took a shot, and he missed everything. I mean, he had a 15-footer on the right base, and he shot it about 17 feet. Cleared the left side of the iron by a good 2 feet. And the Blazers come away with nothing.
Well, the Trailblazers on a 10-4 run. So, you know, a team that was hot early in terms of getting back into the ball game has cooled off. Brian Hill very concerned about his team right now in the first 6 minutes of this third quarter of play.
Not shooting the ball well. 14%, 57-51. Blazers by 6. Halfway mark of the third.
Now, when a team is struggling to score, that's when you don't want to let them back in it by making mistakes yourself. Be efficient at the offensive end of the floor. Try to move the ball, move people. Don't stand around.
Interchange. Sabonis all the way going back to the right side to Ryder with an in-and-outer. And the ball will not stay down for him. And Ryder with 6 points so far tonight. Mack, step around. Look out. Tough shot. No. Ryder fights for the rebound. Ball loose. Mack inside. They go to Raheem. Blocked by Brian Grant. And a jump ball call. A terrific block by Brian Grant. How many blocks have the Blazers had in this quarter?
A good pass in. Raheem goes up strong, but Grant caps that one, puts his hand on top, brings it down. Raheem was hoping he got fouled, but the interior defense of the Trailblazers had really been terrific here in the first 6 minutes of the third quarter.
57-51. Blazers have had 4 blocks in this quarter alone. And Sabonis has had 3 of them. And Ryder will come away with it. Well, Arvidas playing hard this quarter.
Big country in the ball game. Massenburg down. Want to get some size in. Now the Trailblazers are looking to score. They got out, hopped up in a 6-point lead. They're going to get an offensive foul against Grant. Trying to set a screen.
It's number 4. And we'll see Rasheed Wallace. Jimmy Jackson's going to get a call also. 57-51. Ryder will come out. Jimmy Jackson will come in. Grant comes off. So you've got Sabonis, Ogman, Jackson, Rasheed Wallace, and Stoudemire on the floor.
And pressing and running, it's a state of mind, and you've got to get conditioned to do it. And the Trailblazers sometimes forget that they want to keep that pressure on the ball. They lose themselves. The foul at the other end of the floor. It'll be Jimmy Jackson.
No, it was an illegal defensive call, is what it was. No, that's what it was, and that puts them into their second illegal defensive call, so you shoot the technical foul. So on the illegal defense, Mack will go to the line and shoot the technical. We talked about the defense that they've been playing on Raheem. They've really done a good job on him. He's 4 for 15 tonight. Stacey Ogman, the fellows that have been playing on him, Ogman has him right now. Nice job defending Raheem, one of the real premier young players in the league. Bibby defended by Damon.
Trying to get a pick and roll.
Jumps the pass, Herrera from the foul line. And Wallace with the rebound. Blazers much better on the boards in the second half. Stoudemire, tough shot, right base. Sabonis with it, stripped and fouled as he tries to take it back up. You get down there in the land of the Giants and you get fouled by a Giant, and that foul will go on Big Country.
And you've been talking about the rebounding and the fact that Sabonis did not have a good night last night, but he's had a very effective night tonight. Late coming in, but in the right spot as Big Country lets that ball hit the floor. Sabonis beats it to it. Sabonis misses his first free throw here in the third quarter.
This third personal. Arvidas bangs the second one. Tight rims. 58-52, lead still 6. Bibby and the Blazers are getting to know each other real well. They've been staying very close to Bibby all night long. Trying to put pressure on the youngster, see if they can make him fold. He's getting a test in a lot of minutes very early in his pro career. Here's Reeves, blocked again, picked up inside Raheem, and a 24-second violation. 58-52, and again, that inside defense, tough.
And the Trailblazers have reacted very well to the ball. It has been Augman, Grant, and Sabonis that have been slapping it back the other way. So Portland's size has certainly hurt any inside opportunities for the Grizzlies here in the third quarter. In the first half of play, they got a lot of stuff close to the basket, and that was the contribution of Tony Massenberg.
Walt Williams is going to come back into the game when he can. They go down to Arvidas. Back weak side, Wallace. Over to Wall Street, Jimmy, and he's got a 3. Jackson hits the 3, and the Blazer lead 9. Out of bounds it goes, and what do we have here? Is we have Greg Anthony coming in with Walt Williams. Anthony replacing Damon Stoudemire. And coming out also is Stacey Augman.
Walt Williams just trying to get some sort of game rhythm. He has had a difficult time. He's got 4 personal fouls, but it seems like as soon as he gets a couple of minutes out on the floor, a foul followed. Wallace rebound. Jackson
wearing number 19. Not many Blazers have worn that number. A little minutia for you. Only Djordjevic, who was here a short time last year, and Lenny Wilkins have worn that number in Blazer history. Missed by Greg Anthony. Tapped ahead by Bibby. Bibby with Anthony to deal with, and he misses, and the Blazers another rebound, and it's Jimmy Jackson. Gets it right back. Cross court. Walt Williams for a tray. He's got himself some string music. And the Blazer lead now 64-52, and Mike Dunleavy wants backcourt pressure. This is the pressure unit.
You want to keep it up. It's going to cost you a few buckets, but if you can get the team in a panic state and they're worried about where they're going to get the ball, they're fighting the shot clock, you're going to have a great deal of success.
What a third quarter by the Blazers, and Sabonis has been out there banging around real nicely. 64-52, 3:02 to play. Blazers into the lead. Steve, defensively, the Blazers have done a nice job, particularly on Raheem. He's 0 for 6 and Bibby 0 for 5.
They've done a good job of reacting to the basketball. That's when you know your defense is alert and really into the ball game. When the initial pass may beat them, they're able to recover and make a save.
Don't forget now, our Blazer Vision package is still out there. Deadline to order has been extended. Call that number, 1-800-595-DUNK.
But when you get the results that the Trailblazers are starting to get here in the quarter, everybody's energy picks up, and everybody gets up on the ball. They make it tougher for the opponent to score. Another miss.
But the Blazers down deep are making it very difficult for the Grizzlies to get easy shots. They're contesting everything. They're up into them and extending, getting real long defensively and making it tough for them to shoot over. Williams back to an open Rasheed. Terrific ball movement. Didn't go, but I love what the Blazers are doing here in the third quarter. Both ends of the floor. 64-52, 2:19 to play here in the third. That's Jason Sasser.
In this final 2:13, the real big score out on the floor is Bryant Reeves. He hasn't had a chance to look at it, so if you keep the pressure up, you're probably going to keep these guys out of the ball game, and this is a chance to really bust the game open. And Dunleavy is telling his guys, keep going, keep going. So you move the ball, move people, foul. The bonus will go through the line as Sasser comes in and hammers it.
Sasser spent a little time with the Blazers in training camp. After he was drafted by Sacramento, traded to the Blazers, didn't make it, then to the CBA he went.
Now you hear people say, you can't do certain things with Sabonis out on the floor, but he's a very smart player. So he knows that if he's open, go to the basket, something good's going to happen for his team. Misses that free throw.
Well, he's had his problems at the line, but that's the only place he's had his problems. He's got 18 points. Pete Chilcutt coming in. Out goes Carl Herrera. Never known to be an offensive threat, but boy, he hasn't been bashful about taking shots tonight. Arvidas makes the second. Herrera is 1 for 7 from the floor. So Brian Hill very quickly gets him out of the game. 65-52, 150 to play in the third. Bibby's got to get it over at 10-second line. Here's Sasser on the attack. Sasser with their 7th point in the quarter. Had the Blazers been able to hold the Grizzlies to 5, it would have equaled an all-time opponent low in the quarter. The New York Knicks at 5-97. Almost. Nonetheless, excellent defense by the Blazers. Inside Walt Williams with a tough bounce feed and a foul call against Jason Sasser.
Well, you know, the officials, they're happy to be back, but at the same time, they don't want to hear all of this talk. Walt Williams dancing with the ball, makes a nice little pass, and Sasser trying to get to it, wraps around, gets a piece of it, and Sabonis back on the line. Been a big quarter for Sabonis at both ends of the floor.
Yeah, his ability to recognize advantages inside here in this quarter really helped the Blazers. And you got a guy like Sasser on him, he's only 6'7". They cross screen a lot, Portland does. And so that means that if Reeves gets lost or switched over on somebody else, Sabonis is going to have a very obvious advantage in size. Bibby, a pressure in the backcourt. They've got to work to get it over, and they get it over with 1 second to spare.
Now, this has been the story, though, that they have been able to get them working against the clock and really out of their offensive set. Sasser cuts to the basket, picks up the person.
Well, they ran a nice play that time with 1:01 in the fourth. Blazer lead 13.
Anytime you cut to the basket, you have to be respected. You have to be honored. Trailblazers were late in reacting to Sasser. Wallace picks up his first personal foul.
And Sasser on the free throw. This fellow's really fought hard to make it into the NBA. Came out of Texas Tech in '96. He's had several tries, but always ended up back in the CBA, and he's hoping to stick here in Vancouver. Anthony, a little pressure. They free up Rasheed Wallace. And Felipe Lopez for the first time in the ball game. I like this fella. He came from San Antonio along with the pick to get Mike Bibby for Daniels.
Steal. Anthony.
Crossover. Dump it back to Jackson. Jackson, sweet move baseline. And the reverse layup by Jimmy Jackson. He has 12. He'll be a big help here. 69-55 Blazers.
Now, one of the things you don't want to do is what the Trailblazers are doing, trying to make a steal on every possession. What you want to do is create some sort of panic in the mind of the guy that's handling the ball. He'll lay it out there. He'll make a decision for you. But if you try to steal it every time, you're going to expose yourself. And Sasser makes him pay.
Sasser with 5, lead 12. Sabonis, step around off a terrific fake, gets his own, but nice hustle, and no foul call. And Arvidas is disgusted that he didn't get a call out of that one. 69-57, Blazers.
Trailblazers have done a very good job of reacting to the basketball in the third quarter of play. That's what helped establish the big lead. And now the Grizzlies are going to come back with some pressure of their own. For Portland, that means ball movement, player movement, and if you make good, quick decisions, you get cheap scores.
Sabonis still in there with Jim Jackson, along with Greg Anthony, Rasheed Wallace, and Walt Williams. And that's going to count. Greg Anthony knocked down by Pete Chilcutt. Oh, Anthony, the former UNLV Wiz, hits one. The Blazer lead 71-57. And let's see if he can add to the Vancouver misery here in the second half. The Blazers have really been tough since they broke it open. It was 47-47 halftime. That
is what pressure is supposed to produce, though. 48 minutes of misery, and at some point it takes its toll. 3-point play for Anthony.
72-57, 15 points. Raheem to Big Country. The large man tries to back down on Arvidas Sabonis, and he is called for the foul. Sabonis is four. What did you do there, Steve?
They had him with both elbows in the back, which you can't do. You can have one arm, one forearm in the back. So it's a foul. They're trying to get Cato, couldn't get him in time. Raheem has had trouble. And again, what he's got to do is put the ball down before that right foot comes down. He likes to fake left and then come back right, but he fakes without crossing over, uses both feet. That's a violation.
Well, he just signed that new 6-year deal. He's the future of this franchise and trying to get his team going. They were only 3 for 24 from the floor in the third quarter. Great defense, Blazers. Anthony on a terrific drive, but it won't fall. And Large Country will outlet to Dewan Wheat on the lob. There it is, and Lopez can't knock it down. Felipe Lopez from St. John's. Jim Jackson just a little bit short as Big Country came out there and hampered his vision. Wheat. Cato challenges. Follow up inside by Lopez. Blazers on a 3-1 goal rush.
Well, that's when you got to keep going. You got 3-on-1. Anthony pulls up, gets it back.
Tries it again and nothing. Well, Mike Dunleavy not happy about coming away with a 3-on-1 with nothing.
Well, that was a good shot that Anthony took. You know, if you were to say, what are your choices? He got the ball at an angle where he couldn't really lob it to Wallace on the other side of the rim. So you take a shot. Hopefully, if it's going to miss, it's going to come off in your hands. He got 2 cracks at it. He's out of the ball game. Stoudemire in.
Chilcutt on the back cut. He misses the overlay, and Reeves with the follow. So you've got Cato in there for Sabonis with Jackson, Rashid, Damon, who's not scored since the first 5 minutes of the game, now running the point. Walt Williams, the 5th Blazer on the floor. Jimmy Jackson, back down, clear out, turn around, yes sir. Jackson can score. Best position, 2 or 3.
It depends on how you use him. I think that he has the versatility to play both, and you know what Portland really needs is a guy that's going to be out on the wing that's able to make that play. Cato on the fly.
But what a block by Rashid on Big Country at the other end. I just love the way the Trailblazers are challenging the Grizzlies at their basket.
Well, I think the challenge is right here at the point of attack, and they try to keep the pressure up, get it into a scatter game, make them take some quick shots, foul Wallace on Wheat.
76-59, Blazers by 17. 9:46 to play in the third, and we have a timeout.
Trailblazers keep the heat on of the Grizzly defense, and you can see that the numbers are beginning to wear down the Grizzlies, and Portland's able to stay right at the front of the rim. Cato, 2 hands over the top. Massenburg back in the ball game. Raheem joins him. Wheat, Chilcutt, and Lopez in white.
Dewan Wheat that played at Louisville makes the first. They are without Doug West for the rest of the game. He aggravated a hamstring that he hurt in practice the other day and will not be back. Lee Mayberry, their normal backup point guard to Bibby, has not played in either of these first 2 games for the Grizzlies. They've got Wheat in there now against Stoudemire, and a foul called against Dewan Wheat, who got poked in the right eye in warm-ups before the game, and you can see it. His eye is almost closed. They didn't know whether he was going to play or not. And back into the game comes Mike Bibby and Dewan Wheat. Look at how swollen that right eye is. Maybe he caught it, maybe he didn't.
Well, there's one thing. When you're trying to make a team, they better both be shut.
76-61. The Blazers with a 15-point lead. And 9:34 remaining here in the fourth quarter. Mike Dunleavy getting his club ready. It's going to take a while before this team is completely in sync. And a foul called by Rasheed Wallace.
See, that's the danger of pressure, is that you become overly aggressive and you want to try to steal every single ball. The idea then would have been to just keep them pushing the ball at pace, try to take them down into an area where he had no angle to make a pass.
Lopez trying to set up Raheem. Defended by Walt Williams, and again the Blazers' defense against Raheem tonight has been sensational. And Tony Massenburg throwing a collar around Mighty Mouse as he tried to take it to the basket.
One thing Jackson can do is handle the ball in the middle, a quick push ahead. Massenburg never had a chance to get himself set, so rather than let Stoudemire get a chance to get it up, just collars him with both hands. Now, coach is over here. Dunleavy, he's saying he was shooting. Stoudemire's got that look on his face like I ought to have free throws, but the officials say no. Walt Williams will inbound opposite us.
A lot of fouls here in the fourth quarter. Blazers have 4 and the Grizzlies have 3. And almost over and back. And now Damon's telling Calvin Cato to get out of the way. Let's get down there where you're supposed to be and let me handle this guy. Tries to put the spin dribble, split the D. Jimmy Jackson, heel over the sideline.
As much as players like to go down in that corner, they all forget that it takes about a size 12 to stay down there. And they step back and they step out of bounds. So they're going to make sure that when they get in that little lane, that they know where they are and they forget about the out of bounds.
With those big programs, you got to give yourself a little extra room. Bibby, Chilcutt, working against Calvin Cato. On top to Bibby, he likes to shoot the 3. And Calvin Cato with a rebound. The Blazers doing a much better job here in this second half on the board.
Well, what you don't want to get is jump shot half eating. You've got a lead and you got a team scattered defensively. Try to pass it, cut it, bring it to the hoop, stick with a medium range jump shot whenever you get it. Massenberg trying to come back inside. Foul.
Blocked in a foul called against Rasheed Wallace, or was it Calvin Cato? They were both there. And Ted Barnhart said it's Rasheed. So that's number 4 on Rasheed. And the Blazers now with their 15th foul, Steve, at 8:16 to play in the fourth quarter. So it's free throw shooting time from now on for the Grizz.
Well, you don't want to give a team that's struggling a chance to score, get back in it cheaply. I mean, they've really lost any kind of offensive efficiency from the second bucket of the third quarter. So they've been struggling to get it up and down. Massenberg gets 1 of 2.
Bibby and Raheem, 2 of their main pieces on this team, have yet to score a point in the second half, so the Blazers have defended them magnificently.
Well, I think in the case of Raheem, you would expect that he would get some numbers, more so than Bibby, because you're looking at a guy that's been in the league, that brings it every single night, but the Blazers have shut him down.
Williams off a tight screen by Calvin Cato, and Cato called for the offensive foul, trying to set that screen.
He never got set. You know, and what the Trailblazers don't want to do right now is start getting the habit of making mistakes and allowing opponents a chance to find a way to get in the game. The Grizzlies have made enough mistakes on their own, and so you want to let them self-destruct.
That's their 18th turnover of the night. 7:51 in regulation. Opening night, Indiana coming in Wednesday night. They won their game tonight in Cleveland. Got a long trip ahead of them, and then they'll turn on the lights at Paul's Place on Wednesday night. Should be some night. Hope to see you there. Blazers trying to get it in. Can't. Rasheed with good pressure on Bibby in the backcourt. Felipe Lopez. Got a lot of moves, this guy. I haven't seen him do a lot of scoring.
Well, one thing he doesn't have is a jump shot. That was an example. He torched the glass pretty good, but what the Trailblazers are trying to do is settle down, trying to pair in with Jimmy Jackson, gets 1, and he'll have a chance for a three-point play.
See, there's the strength and the experience of a guy like Jackson. This guy can score. I mean, he can create basket opportunities in a lot of ways for his team and himself. He's got 16 points tonight.
As happens with most rookies, they are the guys that feel the wrath of the coach the most, particularly when you're not the number 1 pick. And Lopez goes out of the ballgame after airing that one out. Jackson a chance for a 3-point play.
He's got it, and the Blazers now lead 79-62. 7:15 to play in the fourth quarter. Bibby against Stoudemire's pressure. Damon doing a good job on young Bibby. Massenberg fights away from Cato to get the entry. And a whistle and a foul called on Calvin Cato. He's gotten a bunch here in the fourth
well,
quarter.
He's active, and what he's trying to do is keep his man from getting the ball, and he has to remember to release. Once the ball goes out, release, let the guy make a move. This is going to put Massenberg back on the line. This has been really the only place that they've been able to get to with no defense in front of them.
Massenberg missing on the free throw. Jimmy Jackson has very nicely contributed to this team's effort tonight. 6 of 7 from the floor, 17 points in 18 minutes is what we have him for. That's very efficient work. Blazers with a nice lead, 79-63. Massenburg with the big first half and 24 for the game.
That's the best pace the Trailblazers have demonstrated here in the last 3 or 4 minutes. A couple of passes. They let Grant get down on a post, 2 hands over the top.
81-63, 18 points. Blazers with a lead. Massenburg has lost the magic. And Grant with another rebound. Well, Brian Grant gets another rebound. Stoudemire. Bryant very quiet on the boards in the first half. But the entire Blazer team rebounding better in the second. Kelvin Cato with a good strong power move inside. Very solid inside and took it up against the crowd. And a 20-point lead, the biggest of the night for the Blazers. Remember, this team beat Portland 2 out of 4 times last year. And now Brian Hill says, hold on, let's call time and talk this one over. 83-63, a 20-point lead. As we take it down the backstretch with 5:54 to play in Vancouver, after going the entire third quarter and not scoring that many points, up until the 2-minute mark, they only had 5. Ended up with 10 for the quarter. They've got 6 points in this quarter, 16 points so far for the Vancouver Grizzlies in the second half. The Blazers' defense has been sterling. Bibby, Grant trying to jump up, force him back, try to entry pass Massenburg, knocked away by the big guy Sabonis. Inside defense on Raheem, tightening up again and a foul.
Well, Raheem is saying it's about time. He wants to get to the line, but he's had a very, very difficult time here in the second half getting to the line, getting the call. First opportunity for him.
Foul is on Jim Jackson. It puts Raheem at the line.
Raheem last year was the guy that got to the line third most in the league. This is his 5th attempt tonight.
Boy, Vancouver has really struggled. Brian Hill's not going to like to hear this. 4 for 32 from the floor, 13% in the second half. Well, they had a burnout, or a brownout, I should say, down in Sacramento last night. Ended up with shooting in the low 30% for the game. Sabonis trying to screen off Raheem. Williams right there, right back to Arvidas on Massenburg. How about that? How about that move by the large one? He just kind of turned around and gave the old pastry bag shot. Arvidas Sabonis with 23 points for the game.
What the Grizzlies did well in the first half, they haven't been able to do because of the Trailblazer defense. Massenburg can't get that one to go. Portland has been able to beat them in the hustle area, defending them, making them shoot the ball under pressure, and that's given Portland control. The Grizzlies, if you remember, at the end of the second quarter, were running the ball back at Portland. They have not been able to break much here in the second half. Walt Williams.
Walt had the screen. Arvidas said it. He used it. He ran that curl about 3 times. Finally got it where he wanted it. Came up way off the mark. Williams not getting that many shots tonight. And as a result, not scoring. And Jim Jackson with that rebound, and the Blazers lead by 20. Bibby is 1 for 10. We'll have some nightmares over this one. Got to forget it. A lot of games ahead in his career. Arvidas to the middle and foul on the play. Well, the Blazers, knowing they've got a size advantage in the middle, they go in deep, and a technical foul being called on the Trailblazers bench. And the new guy, Mark Davis, gets the foul.
And they're coming across. This is Raheem that makes the chop.
One of the Trailblazers saying something to the official, Mark Davis, new fella, and he hit him with a technical foul, so Mack will go to the other end of the line. Jermaine O'Neal is going to get his first floor time. Now, they didn't indicate exactly who it is. They've just tagged the bench with it, so that's the best they can tell you. One of those fellas down at that end. is the culprit? Tony says, not me. Tony Brown. I don't want to cough up 500. And Jermaine is coming in with 4:09 to play in the game, and out comes Brian Grant.
Normally, you would see some substitution by Mike Dunleavy a little bit earlier. I think what he's trying to get down is the energy and what each player is supposed to do when they're pressing trapping. That's why Sabonis has been given some extended time along with Grant and Wallace. Sabonis gets 1 of 2.
And the lead 20 at 86-66. Arvidas is 10 for 16 at the foul line, and Raheem trying to make it happen inside, fouled on the way down Broadway. Not much, but a good portion of tonight's opening night crowd bailing out of the GM place.
It has been a tough night for Walt Williams. So Raheem back at the line now, back-to-back opportunities. Walt Williams with his 5th personal foul. Sometimes you just can't play, and you can't get a rhythm for the game, and that's been the story for Walt Williams. He's had a tough time whenever Raheem has been able to catch the ball, look at the basket, Portland inbound.
There have been times, particularly when Stacey Augmon has been in defending on Raheem, where he has not been able to do anything. The Blazers, for the most part, have done a terrific job on Raheem. 14 points for him. He had 12 last night. He averaged over 22 last year. And there's Walt Williams. And on a recheck, that's his 2nd field goal of the night. And so Walt Williams gets another 3. He's got 2 threes tonight, 6 points for the game, and the Blazers leading 89-68. Jermaine out there with Stoudemire, Walt Williams, Sabonis, and Jimmy Jackson. Chilcutt. He's a good 3-point shooter. And Raheem lost the ball, but it was deflected by the Blazers. And now you're going to see John Crotty with 3:17, Kelvin Cato. You may even see Bonzi Wells. Bonzi getting his first NBA time right now. As Stoudemire comes out, Arvidas Sabonis comes out, and Sam Mack gets the shot, and he hit a 3. Was it a 2? A 2. 89-70. And a violation called against Raheem. 89-70, the score. The Blazers with the lead.
Well, if it's a double foul, that's number 6 for Walt Williams.
Now, double foul, no shots. Walt Williams and Raheem banging each other.
That's his 6, so they call it on Walt Williams, and Walt's got to sit down. Now the Trailblazers get Bonzi Wells in the ball game, so Bonzi will get a little chance to run him.
I'm going to tell you, Raheem will do that to you. He'll foul you out of the game. He's tough. Rebound, Jermaine O'Neal, and a loose ball foul call on Jermaine. We have a timeout with 2:57 to play, and the Blazers 89-70 on top. Sam Mack at the line. His son dropped a glass and shattered it on the floor back in late summer. He inadvertently stepped on the glass, didn't know it, but he had a piece of glass in his foot, and he had continuous pain for 3 or 4 months. They just went in there and discovered it recently, and they extracted it within the last 10 days. Has stitches in his foot, and Mack has not been a comfortable fellow. Had the wrong guy at the foul line.
You know, he's also a guy that can sniff some free points.
Come on. So Mike Dunleavy saying, guys, I know we had a lockout and we were away for a while, but get the right guy. Well, the Vancouver starters have had only 2 field goals in the second half.
Well, the best thing about that is Chilcutt gets 2 free throws, and the one that Mack threw up there, it means nothing.
Well, why wouldn't you put Mack at the line? He's the only one that's had the field goals here in the second half. Vancouver starters. There have been others like Jason Sasser that have contributed, but their starters have not done well at all from the floor.
But let's remember, this is the team that won 19 games a year ago, and you know they're still moving, they're still evolving. Lead pass from O'Neal to Cato.
Jermaine trying to make the best of his time by being a complete teammate, and a 91-72 as the two young guys collaborate beautifully. Mack again, the only starter. In fact, you want to go a little deeper on that. Massenberg, Raheem, and Bibby have all been shut out from the floor in the second half. Believe that? Man. 91-74, Trailblazers with a lead. Foul called on the play. Offensive foul called. Jermaine O'Neal trying to set a screen for Bonzi Wells. 91-74, 2:17 remaining with Crotty and Jackson and O'Neal, Bonzi Wells and Kelvin Cato. Got some real young legs out there now. Chilcutt, 6:10. Now he got an official timeout. They want to reset the clock. They never got set properly. Ted Bernhardt conferring with the senior official, Jack Neese.
Put the ball in play too quickly.
Put it in play, so they'll start it over again probably. Let's see what they do with the clock. And they roll it back to 24, and with 2:17 remaining, they'll allow Chilcutt to inbound side back.
Well, you know, officials look up at the scoreboard and they say, with 2 minutes, they can't score 17. Let's get this game rolling. We got another place to be tomorrow.
Mike Bibby trying to set up the screen. He got it, and then they released off the pick and roll, and Chilcutt on the miss. Bonzi Wells with a rebound. Oh, Bonzi Wells, a kid I think you're going to hear a lot of. He's a terrific young talent.
What Jackson can do is handle the ball, take a lot of pressure off of Stoudemire, Anthony, Crotty, any of those guys, if another team throws up some sort of pressure. Remember, he used to be the guy to run the show at Dallas.
Jackson had some terrific years over in Dallas, even though the team wasn't all that great.
You know, before Jason Kidd showed up, Jackson was the guy that was supposed to give him that guy that could run the show a la the big point guard.
Score well over 20, and he played lots of minutes every night as a starter. Chilcutt, way off. Boy, Jermaine O'Neal almost came up with a spectacular rebound at the other end. Here's a block by Cato, and he keeps it in play. How sweet is that? And John Crotty to the basket, and he lays it in. Terrific block by Cato. That's how you keep it in play. And you come away with a pair, and it's 93-74 with 1:16 remaining. Massenberg, they leave him alone for a moment. And he can't find the range as he did in the first half when he was 9 for his first 9. Crotty with a no-look. Jackson inside O'Neal. Blocked on the way up. Massenberg and Sasser both there. Mike Bibby will back it out, set it up. They've got to be patient with this team. It's going to take a while, maybe a long while. Bibby and Chilcutt, who's been around. There's the drive and the lead. That's Bibby. It's wide open. And Jimmy Jackson with another rebound. Jackson with a half a dozen boards to go along with his effort tonight. Yeah, he's really done well. 17 points for Jimmy. Jermaine, and they clear it out. Now they bring Wells over to the ball side and go right back to Jermaine, and he throws it down, and Chilcutt with a steal. Crotty gets it right back. Final seconds. Jimmy Jackson, Wells, Bonzi with his first 2 during the regular season in his NBA career. And it's 95-74, Sasser inside Felipe Lopez. And the Blazers with some outstanding defense, some board work, and some very aggressive teamwork in the second half. They come back and win 95-76. Let's take a look at our BP play of the game.
Hey, you know, it really symbolized the second half, and we'll call it the move of the game. But what happened was the Trailblazers got on the move, and they started moving the basketball up and down the floor, attacking the basket. Nice pass from Stoudemire to Grant, 2 hands over the top. And
remind you that BP says we keep you moving.